I am Jonathan Knight, and this is B-Movie Madness. The movie I'm going to talk about today, well, I got more SOV horror goodness to talk about today. Another SOV drive-in double feature, once again from Joe Sherlock. If you don't remember the other two I talked about, that's why I got them right here. Crimson Heather, the SOV double feature of Crimson Heather, sorry for the glare, and Lust of the Vampire Hookers, trying to fix that. And the one I did 2 weeks ago, Monster in the Garage and Zombie Love Slave. Let me try to get a good angle on those ones. Fucking glare. And I really enjoyed both of those. In particular, I like the Monster in the Garage and Zombie Love Slave double feature. I had a lot of fun with that one. Now, the one I'm going to talk about today, well, you probably read the title, but I'll talk about that after this intro. Welcome back. I'm really glad you came back after that intro, because some people like to run away. No, they don't. But, like I said, welcome back. Now, the SOV drive-in double feature I'm going to talk about today is Dimension of Blood and We Need Earth Women. You know, both of these, like I said before, are from Joe Sherlock. Over the past couple months, I've become a really big fan of Joe's work. This is now, including both of these movies, now the 7th thing I've seen from him, and there's a lot more I'm going to get to in the future, so I'm really looking forward to those. I really like his style, and his movies have a lot of charm. You know, you can tell that he puts a lot of effort in them with no money whatsoever, and he makes entertaining. I've never been bored by one of his movies. It's just, they're always entertaining. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Like I said in the last two drive-in double feature reviews, you can watch this drive-in style with all the drive-in advertisements and some movie trailers from Joe's other work, including these two movies. Or you can watch them just separately. I highly, highly recommend sticking to the drive-in mode. It adds a lot of fun to it. It's like it's a much more fun experience when you watch it in that mode with both movies together. But you can watch it any way you want. That's why Tony gave you the option, so that's cool. But what is the first movie on the list? It is Dimension of Blood. Now, Dimension of Blood was made in 1996, and it's about a scientist researching a strange life form. He finds himself thrust into government conspiracy involving murderous interdimensional beings. This was like the first project that Joe did that was a bigger scale, and that he was trying to a serious intent, make a bigger scale movie. So it's like the very early work of Joe Sherlock. It has some very familiar faces in it, which I'll get to in a minute. But the reason on that, I end up really enjoying this one because it reminded me a lot of the shot-on-video work of Warren F. Disbrow. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him. He did Flesh Eaters from Outer Space and Invasion for Flesh and Blood. Troma put out a double feature DVD quite a while back. That story reminded me a lot of those. It had that charm like that those did. And that's why I ended up really enjoying this one. This is basically Joe's tribute to the X-Files, which was airing at the time he made it. I love the X-Files, especially the first so many seasons. I kind of pittered out after a while, but I really liked the first 5-6 seasons of the X-Files, and this is basically a big tribute to those. As for the acting, I think Joe says on the commentary perfectly. None of these are professional actors. I think the actress who plays the lead, she's not very good. She looks at the camera several times, but they weren't professional actors. Now, Tom Schaefer, and if you see my last few reviews of Joe Sherlock stuff, especially Bloody Red Lips of Blood, I really like Tom Schaefer. His character in this is very likable. He makes the movie for me. He's just a very likable lead. I just really like him. And very sadly, Tom passed away a few years ago. It's very sad to hear that because I really enjoyed every movie that he's done with Joe that I've seen so far. I've always enjoyed Tom in it. But as for special effects, as for gore, there is a few gory set pieces. There is a head that gets torn off. There's a heart that gets torn out. There is a scrape on the face. There's eye gouging. It's not super gory, but it gets the job done. And I thought the effects were, considering that it was done with no budget and with simple things, was actually quite good. Um, and there's also a meltdown in this movie, which I thought was actually really cool. I thought that was probably my favorite little set piece in the movie. That little meltdown, that was cool. But it's a fun little story, very quick, 35 minutes long. It has an open ending, which Joe said he did write some ideas for a sequel that sadly never came to be. Tom Schaefer actually did a series of shorts that were a sequel decades later, but I'm not sure if they're out there. If anyone knows if they're out there, I would like to watch them because he did them before he passed. I think they said he did them like 20 years later. But yeah, it was a short, simple story. The acting is non-professional, but there's a likability to Tom Schaefer's character. The effects are fun, the story's fun, and it's just a fun little sci-fi horror short. You call it short, you call it a movie. I call it a movie because it has a beginning, a middle, and end, although the end is very open. But I really enjoyed it. As with Joe's other stuff, it's a little fun little movie, very charming. And I don't use charming as a bad thing. If something charms me, I'm just happy as all hell. So, very, very fun. I do highly recommend this particular movie to people, especially if you like Joe's other work, and if you like what I mentioned earlier, the Flesh Eaters from Outer Space and all that. You will enjoy this one. Now, the second feature is We Need Earth Women. Now, this one's from 1999, but the interesting thing about this one is, the interesting thing about this one is it's made up of recycled footage. It's footage that Joe and some other people, like Tom Schaefer, shot in the past that they never used, like test shots, just reshot footage, original footage that was reshot later. And he wanted to do something with it, so he made this, what he called the kitchen sink movie, where he, well, let me get to the story, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. The story is about a pair of bumbling aliens who are on a quest to find the perfect female specimen for their interplanetary zoo. So it's these two aliens who are trying to find the perfect, woman for their zoo. And while they're looking for the women, Joe uses footage from, previous productions that he never used. Including, and this is what the interesting part, because I talked about this in the last review, is for Monster in the Garage, the female lead was played by a different actress originally, and for certain reasons, which I'll get to when I get to the special features, he replaced her with another actress. He took the original footage and used it in We Need Earth Women. Very interesting, pretty interesting stuff. Most of the recycled footage is actually really entertaining stuff. There's an alligator man, the alien disguises itself as alligator man, and all that, and there's some footage of some mutations. Tom Schaefer has this mutated alien face. And there's some, like I said, the original shot footage for Monster in the Garage. Most of the stuff is actually pretty fun. Some of it does feel a little bit like filler, where I was like, I'm really not as invested in this. I will say the best part of the movie are the two bumbling aliens. I thought they were absolutely hilarious. Joe Sherlock and John Bowker both played them. If you see my previous reviews, John Bowker is in a lot of Joe's productions, just like Tom Schaefer. They're absolutely hilarious, and the special effects for the spaceship is a plastic takeout dish from like a restaurant with like fishing string, and it's so funny. It made me laugh so hard every time it was on screen. It's so damn charming. I just loved it every time it was on screen. But the good news is the final 14-ish minutes, 15, 16, 17 minutes of the movie are all new footage, and it involves the two bumbling aliens, their specimen, they land on a planet. There's a very hilariously non-exciting fight sequence. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but the ending features cameos by two of the creatures from Monster in the Garage. And the ending is just hilarious. Not only hilarious, but it's really cool. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really a lot of fun. Like I said, there's not really any gore in this one. Actually, I don't think there's no gore whatsoever. And I didn't say it before, there's no nudity in either of them. A lot of Joe's later work has nudity in it, like Bloody Red Lips of Blood. But this one does not have nudity in it. This one's just a funny little short. I like the fact that he was like, I got this footage that I'm not using. Maybe I should just put it in something, and I'll have like a plot to tie it all together. And for the most part, it does its job. Some of it, like I said, I found was filler, and it wasn't as engaged in it as I was like the Crocodile Man stuff and all that, Alligator Man stuff. But the final act of the movie was absolutely hilarious and a lot of fun. And I definitely do recommend this. If I have to pick my favorite of the two, it's definitely Dimension of Blood, because as a whole, I enjoyed that one more. But they're both a lot of fun. And like I said, watch them together in the drive-in style. It is so much fun. All together, with the drive-in stuff, it runs about 100 minutes. So that's really cool. So yeah, I highly recommend this if you're a fan of shot of video stuff. You've seen Joe's other work. I do. Like I said, Dimension of Blood is my favorite of the two, but Weenie Earthwoman was a lot of fun as well. As for the special features, watch drive-in style or selected feature. I already talked about that. There's audio commentaries for both movies. Dimension of Blood commentaries with Joe Sherlock, Rod Miracle, and Dale Wilson, and they just talk about the production of the movie. Like, certain production information, such as, it was Dale's idea to put his dead body in the closet, and it ended up being uncomfortable. Ideas for Dimension of Blood 2, where this was shot. Tom Schaefer improvised the joke in the movie. A lot of stuff about the production. It puts a lot of information in those 35 minutes. The one for Weenie Earthwomen is Joe Sherlock and John Bowker, and that one's really interesting in that, because I don't think they discussed it in the commentary track for the Monster in the Garage and all that, but they discussed the reason why they replaced the actress in Monster in the Garage, and he goes into a lot more detail of it. I don't want to spoil it here, because you should listen to the commentary for yourself, but there's a lot of great information on there, particularly about that, about the production, how certain special effects were made, it's, who played who, like the alien one is played by Joe Sherlock and I believe Eric Singer, he says. It's a really good informative commentary track that's also a lot of fun. Both commentary tracks are fun, but if I have to pick a favorite commentary, it would be the Weenie Earthwomen. So, it works out in that. There's the making of Dimension of Blood and the making of Weenie Earthwomen. These are video interviews with Joe Sherlock, Dale Wilson, Rob Miracle, and John Bowker about the movies. I think Dimension of Blood one runs 12 minutes and Weenie Earthwoman runs 7 minutes. But it's basically the video version of the commentary track. So if you're not a commentary person, you will like these making ofs. They're both great. It's really good seeing what everyone looks like now compared to what they look like when they were making the movie. There's behind the scenes and bloopers from Dimension of Blood. That's actually really fun too. There's a still gallery for both movies, so if you're a fan of still galleries, you get both movies. There's a Dr. Squid zine ad. That's a B-movie magazine that Joe created in the 90s, I believe. That's actually pretty cool to look at. There's the original release trailers for both movies, because Tony made his own trailers, and then there's the trailers that were made back when the movie came out in the 90s. There's also, you can watch the drive-in ads separately if you decide not to watch drive-in style. And there's also the SOVHorror.com trailer vault, which is on all the releases, and that has some goodies in there too. But yeah, I do recommend this one. I know I said that a million times now, but if you're a fan of shot and video stuff, if you like alien stuff, if you just like good old-fashioned SOV cheese, this is a lot of fun to watch. Get some friends, get some popcorn, get some beer or soda, whatever you drink, and just have a good old time with this. You can pick this up right now at SOVHorror.com. I will have a direct link to the store down below, and I also have a link to the store where you can get this badass t-shirt. So, check that stuff out. In the next couple weeks, I will be doing more Joe Sherlock stuff. I got 2 of them with Joe Sherlock. 2 Joe Sherlock movies to talk about. So look out for those. I'm really excited to talk about those. I haven't watched them yet, but the trailers that Tony put up look really interesting. Look interesting and very entertaining. I will be talking about this one. I talked about it last time. I'll be talking about it'll have its own video, but it is the SOVHorror.com trailer-rama. This is a trailer compilation with 33 trailers running over an hour, or just under an hour. I will be doing my own video of this. Here's the bag. You can't really see some of the titles. Let me see. It has all the trailers for what the stuff that Tony put out so far, including some stuff that has not came out yet. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, if you're a fan of trailer compilations and you just want something to put in the background during a party, highly recommend picking this up. I think it's only $6. Don't quote me on that. If it's not that, I will put a note. So, but yeah. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, man, I always forget to do this. I want to show inside the case for the Dimension of Blood. Here's the CD. Right there. And there's the advertisement for We Need Earth Women. That's pretty cool. I always forget to show that. So, well, that's it for now. If you like my channel, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Comment down below what's your favorite alien-themed movie or TV show. Let me know. That would be cool. But I'm Jonathan Knight. This has been B-Movie Madness. Thanks for watching.